Hi, my name is Blair Glenn. I'm an ISA certified arborist and owner of Saratoga Tree Service. I was asked to inspect a weeping willow in a front yard. The client stated that the tree appeared to be turning yellow, and they were also concerned with the possibility of borers. My first observation is that the tree appears to have been planted fairly recently, in the last year or two, and it is probably, I'm guessing on this one, a tree that was planted from a fairly large container. It is still tightly bound to a constraint to keep it somewhat upright. As you can see in this photograph, the stake, the nursery stake, is still tightly bound to the tree, and there is damage that is evident from this stake and a previous stake from the front side. If you look closely at the bottom portion of this photograph, you can see an area, two lines, where there was a binding, a strap that was holding this tree rigidly to a stake. It was left on there far too long. Above this area, you can see a part of the trunk where it is actually expanding from an internal trunk canker. The cankers could very likely be caused from injuries from from the nursery. This is a problem. This was probably done by the homeowner to help keep the trunk straight, but this is doing more damage than good. I looked very closely at the base of the tree, and there's some unusual staking going on here. The tree is fairly loose in the soil. The soil seems to be very soggy as well. I looked down this pipe here, and it seems to be quite a bit of water still in the pipe. The yellowing of the foliage on the inside could very likely be caused by excessive water. If the soil isn't allowed to dry out, then you could have an anaerobic state where the roots are basically they're drowning. So that's a guess here. So I don't know the actual watering configuration, but it did feel very, very wet. An even closer look at the ground where the trunk goes into the base, you can see some swelling of the bark. That's an indicator that there is a trunk canker developing inside here. I did not see any evidence of borers. I did not see any evidence of insect frass or anything that would lead me to believe that it was a insect-related problem. But my guess here is that there are numerous problems, probably associated from the tree being in a pot too long. Very likely it blew down and broke some roots. There's damage from the staking. All these things are adding up, and the injuries very likely are leading to some of this trunk canker. If you look closely at this picture, you'll see an area of swelling that's also a trunk canker. So what do we do about it? We know that the tree has some internal problems, some trunk canker problems. We know that there's some yellowing. We also know that the tree has some rooting problems, either from the original potting of the tree being too big in a smaller pot, as well as getting established. So it has three strikes against it. Even if it survives, it's going to have long-term problems developing. I usually recommend in a young tree like this that rather than trying to baby along a problem tree, it's better to start off with a better specimen and get a younger, smaller, good tree to develop in this location. So thanks for taking the time to view this brief presentation. Once again, my name is Blair Glenn, and I am an ISA certified arborist.